Sitting at a computer all day sure can get tough on your body and mind. 4 Dahn Yoga's exercises will help you relieve your worst stress. Here today we're going to talk about the benefits of what's called Dahn Yoga. Is Dr. Sung Lee. He's director of the research for the Ilchi Center for Applied Neuroscience. Welcome, doctor.
Hello.
Well, first of all, when I think of yoga, I think of kind of rolling out the mat, going in a quiet place and doing stretching or going into a very hot room. What is Dahn Yoga?
So Dahn Yoga is actually brain education. And what do I mean by that? Well, Dahn Yoga helps you to develop the full potential of your brain and to actually tap its power for healing. So it's a little bit different from some other forms of yoga you may be familiar with, as you mentioned, because it's really focused on helping you to use your brain well.
So this is really the mind-body connection, different than really focusing on the body. This is using the mind also.
That's correct. And so mind-body we can also think of as brain, because it's the brain that helps to actually mediate those experiences of our mind and actually connect the mind to the body.
Right. And what are some of the benefits of Dahn Yoga?
So when I was a faculty member at Weill Medical College of Cornell, I actually did a study, and we found that folks who did Dahn Yoga experienced significant improvements in health-related quality of life across all kinds of domains of functioning, including their physical well-being, emotional well-being, vitality, social well-being, and in particular they also showed greater self-efficacy. That is, they had a greater can-do spirit or sense of self-confidence that they can accomplish their goals. So I was so pleased and interested by those results that I decided to devote a full-time career to doing this kind of research.
That's great. And your research is finding, is it that there's a release of certain chemicals, or do we even know how this works yet?
Right, good question. So there's a lot of research actually in the psychosomatic medicine field, so-called, that's found that there's a strong relationship between the mind-body connection or the brain-body connection and stress and health. So we do know that when people are under prolonged stress or too much stress, they may release too many hormones and other kinds of physiological changes which can actually accumulate and contribute to chronic disease. So the idea then is that if you can actually manage that stress response in a very positive and proactive way, you may be able to reduce either your risk of those diseases or even reduce the impact of them once they've developed.
All right. Well, I'm sure our viewers want to know what these exercises are, and I kind of know a little bit. They're very, very easy, and they can be done right at somebody's desk. Why don't we go through the 4 that we're going to talk about today?
Sure, wonderful, thank you. So one simple thing that anyone can do is abdominal breathing. So when you think of breathing, you're probably imagining breathing through your chest, because that's where the lungs are, of course. But what a lot of folks don't realize is that when they're breathing with their chest, they're actually in a very low grade and subtle situation of stress. So it's actually kind of a very low-grade stress response or fight or flight response they're manifesting. That is, they're kind of heaving the chest, trying to get more oxygen into their system. Now, when you breathe with your abdomen, you're actually helping to relieve that. You're managing your stress response by activating what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. And so what many folks don't know is that not only do we have a fight or flight response, but we also have what's sometimes been called the rest or digest response. And again, that's mediated by the parasympathetic nervous system, and that helps us to, again, regulate that whole stress system. So it's very simple, actually, and I don't know if you can see me now.
Sure, we can see it. Give it a try.
Okay, sure. So you just simply breathe with your abdomen. So as your belly comes out,
I'm doing it right now myself.
Wonderful. And as you exhale,
and that can be done right at the desk. It can be done right here in front of the monitor.
Absolutely, anytime. And let me actually even give you this little self-check as well. You can even check your pulse rate as you're doing this and take some slow, deep, easy breaths. As you're doing that, watch your heart rate, feel for your heart rate, and you may notice, I don't want to give it away too soon, take a few of those deep breaths.
Right, okay.
What did you notice as you were breathing?
Well, it kind of skips, or it goes down a bit.
That's exactly right, exactly right. So your heart rate actually went down a little bit as you're exhaling. And again, that's a manifestation of your parasympathetic nervous system. In other words, you're calming your heart rate down as you exhale. So that actually brings us to exercise number 2. Focus on your exhalation. So if you've ever been to a yoga studio, you probably have heard focus on your exhalation, and that is the physiological basis for that.
Right.
Again, you're
and you know what? We only
system.
have a short time. Let's go through 3 and 4 real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Sure. Okay, very good. So number 3, you can actually tap your brain. And this is a very simple way just to improve blood circulation above your shoulders. The same arteries that supply your brain supply your scalp, and it's a way to actually improve blood flow all around.
I heard an echo. That's okay?
Okay, yes. I hope you can still hear me there.
All right, and then what's the last one?
Okay, and a 4th simple exercise you can do is simply shake your head left and right. Very simply, not too fast and don't be dizzy, but just take a moment out and close your eyes and rest your arms comfortably at the sides. We call this brainwave vibration, and that's kind of an interesting term, and this is a way to, I think, we don't have all the data yet, but I think it's a way to redistribute blood throughout your brain in a very even fashion and even reset the way your brain waves are actually activating.
Right.
We know that there are many ways that our experience differs depending on how blood flow is distributed through the brain. So this is a simple way to actually physically change the way the blood is circulating.
Great. Dr. Sun Lee, I think that's the most fun we had here at Healthy Life. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we hope you found this edition of Healthy Life informative. To find out more on this story and other health-related topics, we invite you to go to our website at abcnews.com. Thanks for joining us today from all of us at the Healthy Life production team. We hope you stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.